Fuck off human, dogs are important. Okay. Bro, people get their feelings hurt, right? How y'all get your feelings hurt over that? It's a dog, man. Oh my god. This is so sad. Some people are so emotional over it's just embarrassing. Empathy for life? I was not born with that. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I'm not programmed that way. And I'm not sorry. Let's see what we got. Yeah, I gotta run these ads. Okay, the ads are good. I have to go. I have to go.
We're gonna start off with Asmongold because that is the topic of the stream. Yeah, the Asmongold drama.
What is Bunty King to you?
In case you're not aware, once every few months I get a viral tweet, right, where I just post a picture of Asmongold's room. It's like this guy talks about something and then you take a picture of his house and how he has like a wall of blood from the teeth pain or something where he just rubs it all over his wall. He like smears blood all over his walls. There's animals in his house and bugs are crawling on him on stream.
Oh. There's a roach flying at me. Give me a minute.
Where'd he go?
Oh! He's on my belly. Look at him. He's right there. Oh, God. Get him out of me. What are you doing, bro? Get out of my... Go in the garbage can. I'm going to take him downstairs. Give me a minute. I got him.
It, like, if you thought the Deji stuff with, like, takeaway bags and fucking McDonald's bags was bad, this guy will have, like, 7 big gulps on his desk at any one time. So he's addressing the disgusting slob allegations tonight. By the way, Asmongold's company, Starforge, I'm an affiliate with them. Feel free to buy a PC from this guy. Not a glowing endorsement, I know.
Guys, it's me. And today I want to answer a question that a lot of people have been asking me my whole life. And they've been asking me a lot recently, especially online. And that question comes in many forms, but it all is distilled down to the same thing, which is, in one form or another, why are you like this? Whether it's the dead rat alarm clock, the barbecue puke shower curtain, dead animals in the house, or any other one of the stories that are just an indicator of me living like a complete fucking animal.
I'm actually shocked that he's just hitting this full fucking bore. Like, he's just going to respond to it.
People always wonder, why would a person live like this? Why would a person be like this? Why am I like this? And I think that, honestly, you know, there's a lot of answers for this. I really don't want to make this like a super long video. So hopefully...
So it's only going to be 35 minutes long. Actually, we're going to try to get through this a little faster. Let's see 125 and see if that works.
I can distill it down to some main points and not really go off on too many tangents, although I think that I probably will, because there's a lot of, like, history with it and everything like that.
What answer would suffice with you guys? If your room was just like shit, like you're a multi-millionaire YouTuber who could afford to just pay a maid to clean up after it. You like manage a whole group of YouTubers who all live in a house, right? Like, well, they did. I don't know if they do now after all the controversies. Haven't checked in with them in a while, but like this guy just lives in a complete shithole. I don't, and talks about like how other people should live their lives on stream.
On, it kind of entered phase 2, and that was probably somewhere around 21 or 23, somewhere around there in those age groups. And that's whenever, you know, the degeneracy really kind of went, you know, it ratcheted up to the next level. I leveled up, new expansion release, DLC, etc., right? And so this happened then, because as a kid, I was actually very much like a very conscientious kid in the way that I basically didn't really want to be perceived in a negative way. I wanted to be seen as a good person, etc. And I've always had a big problem with being able to like relate to other people because I think that I'm just a little bit off, right? I wouldn't say that I don't have a moral compass, but I would say that my moral compass...
Did he say a mortal compass?
I think that I'm just a little bit off, right? I wouldn't say that I don't have a moral compass, but...
No, he said moral.
I would say that my moral compass doesn't point north. And this has been a problem in a lot of cases in my life, whether it's with...
Have you ever heard Asmongold talk about animals before? Some of it, I don't even have the clips on hand, but if Smaggle can find them and send them to me, I would love to play them because he has such weird, horrendous animal takes anytime there's like an animal-related controversy.
with relationships or friendships or anything in between. I've had a lot of problems because of that. And in the process of this, I've learned a lot of things about myself. And the main thing is that my take and my view on moral issues is not really what I would say a normal person thinks. And this has caused me a lot of problems. And especially like as a young kid, you know, being able to like interact and fit in with people, it's a weird dichotomy because the truth is I actually always did have a lot of friends, and I never had problems making friends. But at the same time, I always felt like I was very different from a lot of other people because of the way that I felt. I used to have, for a comparison...
Let me see if I can find this really quickly. I found the old Reddit post, but none of these YouTubers keep clips up. They just turbo delete them. On a live stream in September 13th, the streamer was having a polite discussion and expressed his thoughts on the lockdown during the pandemic. After noticing a viewer's comment about a public figure killing dogs, Zach claimed no one cares about the animal's well-being. The statement drew criticism from his Twitch audience, with one community member saying that dogs are important. Well, this is some real hard-hitting journalism. Okay, that's up to you, bro. People get their feelings hurt, right? Like, damn, that's crazy. How do you get your feelings hurt over that? It's a fucking dog. Oh my god, this is so sad. Some people are so emotional over this shit. It's so embarrassing. But, like, I don't think that this clip is going to... Yeah, this clip's long gone, dude. It's been removed from the online clip video player, as far as I can tell. I'm never going to find that. This isn't the first time Asmongold is... Because I know there's a few of these. During the Cat Alinity saga, Asmongold is one of the biggest MMORPG creators. Yeah, I wish I could find that clip, but it was genuinely weird. It's like comes out of nowhere. Asmongold and animal cruelty. There's a thread on this from 2020. Again, I don't think he's gonna like abuse an animal or something, but Asmongold animal. It's just one of those where it's like he calls this, I've been living like an animal for 13 years, but he has very he has takes that aren't compatible with other people, and he knows he's kind of weird, but like he still gives people advice on how to live.
I'm talking like that entire room was a shithole, okay? It was huge. And anyway, what happened is that a rat got in there and it died.
He's talking about his house. The reason why his house smells is because a rat got in his room and died.
And so I was like, man, this smells really bad. We've got to deal with this problem with the dead rat in that room.
That's not a normal sentence. I've never said in my life, we have to deal with the dead rat problem so the room stops smelling. Something has to go wrong in your life to be addressing that controversy.
So I closed the door. And that was pretty much about it. Yeah, so I didn't go in the room anymore. So anyway, I go back. This is like 5 or 6 years later. I'm going to clean up this room, and I actually did. It was like I felt like Hercules, like cleaning the stables, right? Where he's like commanded by Zeus, and like there was just so much shit in there. It was insane. It took me a week to clean this out, and I had to throw things away.
And you're wondering like, what does this look like? What does a house this disgusting look like? Well, one time somebody said Justin Minx's room wasn't dirty, which, I mean, she's got 2 black eyes. There's shit all over her floor. I don't know if that's like a fucking toy or whatever that a cat's eating. It looks like a fucking playpen of a child in a fucking child's playroom. All right, there's like one lamp begging for dear life not to be knocked off by whatever the fucking thing is pushed up behind it from the window. Okay, it just looks like a streamer moved in for a week and then like a homeless group of a homeless family with children moved in, right? And someone's like, that's not even remotely dirty for a streamer house. Look at you, a little 2,000 likes. So Asmongold has completely shattered the internet's perception of what a messy house looks like. This is what I was talking about. This is a millionaire, a multi-millionaire, lives like a fucking heroin addict. This is what he's addressing right now. Like, this is his room. I swear to God, this person lives here, and shocker, plays World of Warcraft. This is like mom bathroom Cartman pooing. Like, I like this. There's probably fucking feces under this garbage, or on top of it. Like, dude, holy fuck! What? I don't know how does it get. We're gonna figure it out, I guess. How it gets this bad.
Fill
Let's go to Edge. Edge with the boys.
The point of reference, I guess you could say. I used to have my mom.
Oh, I
read
still
me,
haven't
all
died.
of the different like sins in the Bible and everything because I understood even as a little kid. I'm like, there's something wrong with you. Like you better learn this so that way there aren't any problems in the future. And so I would have her.
Wait,
read all these-
what the fuck? When I was a little kid, I had my mom read me the sins of the fucking Bible, so I knew what not to fuck up in my life. That's kind of weird. That's kind of a weird thing.
Because I understood even as a little kid. I'm like, there's something wrong with you. Like you better learn this so that way there aren't any problems in the future. And so I would have her read all of these to me. That way I would understand how to behave, right? Because it just never came naturally to me. Things that come naturally to other people were not natural and are not natural. It's not like things have changed. If anything, they've probably gotten worse.
He's about to say like I'm a diagnosed sociopath.
And so, I've always had a big problem being able to understand like where, how you should act, how you should treat people, what you should do, how you should say things, etc. So almost everything that I do is a learned performance rather than an innate social, instinct, if that makes sense. And hopefully the performance is good. I consider myself kind of a good actor, at least, right? But of course there are going to be cracks and outtakes as well. And so those are usually in the form of the Twitter clips with 100,000 likes. And so anyway, as a kid, I was always treated this way. And, people thought that I was a little bit off, a little bit weird. Like one time, like for example, there was a kid that I was like playing with baseball with him, and he was annoying me, making me mad. And so I hit the ball, and I hit it with the explicit intention of hitting him in the face with the ball, and I did. And so I remember there's blood all over the kid's face. He like broke his tooth and everything.
What the fuck is... Dude, I was really expecting this to be like, hey man, my room is like bad because I'm sad. This guy is acting like he's like a fucking monster child who barely survived.
Everything, and everybody was standing around like what the fuck, like what this is like terrible. And I remember walking up, this was like the best day of my fucking life. This happened, and I was so happy, and I could see that other people were made very uncomfortable around this.
This guy better never criticize me for covering YouTube drama at somebody else's expense. I do not. There are a lot of people who could be like, Nick, don't you think this is in bad taste? Or Nick, don't you think this is kind of fucked up to be going this hard on somebody? Not from I hit a kid in the face and broke his nose because I was mad at him and I was playing baseball. I don't want to hear from that guy.
And that's whenever I started trying to like really kind of mask my emotions and how I felt about things.
He did say he would start at the beginning. Yeah, I didn't expect this was like a therapy session. I'm going to start at the beginning. So when I was 5.
It's because it was very evident to me that I was not really normal. And this has been, again, a huge problem my whole life, but that was pretty much the first, at least the time that I can remember in my mind, the first time that I can remember that and see that, wow, this didn't go over the way that I thought it would go over because I was so happy and nobody else is happy and they think I'm like a bad person. But it's like, from my perspective, that's not how I saw it. And, from my perspective, rip bozo. So this is a big problem. And this happens in middle school as well. I cared a lot about like how I looked, how I dressed, etc. in middle school. I mean, really, who doesn't? And, I really tried to take myself seriously and, I tried to have a good impression.
Like in middle school, like the sociopath, he just kind of went away and he was like a regular kid who was obsessed with how people perceived him, like every other kid is.
Etc. Do the right things, say the right things, wear the right things, be the right kind of person. And going into high school, I kind of got, there's a weird thing where like I ended up going to like one high school that I didn't want to go to, and then I ended up going to another high school after that, after I told my parents that if they didn't change me over, I would kill myself and fail every single.
Dude, what the fuck? I actually was not expecting all of... Okay.
Class. Which, to be I was halfway followed through with that, because my first...
So anyways, that's why I buy the big gulp.
Semester in that high school, I had a GPA of a 0.08.
You know that, like, if this guy dated a woman in his early 20s, and that was, like, logged in on the internet, he would not have a career. Like, this guy's lucky he's a fucking virgin. Alright, if this guy got caught dating somebody during, like, the time frames he's gonna detail here, I think that his messages would be everywhere.
was actually impressive. It was hard to do. I had to go out of my way for this. And so then I ended up getting transferred over, and I went to the school where my friends were. And I think that like the high school that I had originally gone to was a much more superficial, much more like, like a higher class high school, because my dad wanted me to go there because, like he wanted me to go to school to get an education. Imagine that. I wanted to go to school to hang out with my friends. So there was a bit of a disconnect there. And so I go over to the other school, and I realized that I need to stop caring about what people think about me, because I saw the people that were in that other school.
I realized that I needed people to stop caring about like me or what I can't care about what they think about me. So anyways, I live in garbage now. All right, dude, you went too far the other direction.
And I realized that's not the kind of person that I wanted to be. Because
dude, the biggest piece of garbage I can see in his room is the Halo Reach poster.
they were the more extreme version of the person that I was trying to be. And at that point, I realized that I didn't really want to be like other people, and I had to develop, I guess, my own identity. And this was at like, I would say 14 or 15. And that happened, and that continued all the way through high school. And, I was always like, I never really had a girlfriend, right, in high school or anything like that. Maybe.
I'm shocked. Again, this is good, because if he did, it would probably be a disaster.
I talked to a girl, but not
it would be a multiversal level event when those DMs come out.
Really, okay? And so I was never really treated very well by, a lot of girls or anything like that, and big surprise, imagine that. And so, anyway, this happened, and, I kind of got used to this, and it was normal, so I would try to improve myself and, make myself look better, and try to do this, and it would just be met with the same outcome, which was a massive failure.
Do you think Asmongold has BPD? I do not think he has big penis disorder, no.
Big surprise. Being a level 60 warrior isn't as attractive to women as it is.
Could you imagine if they did that, Jade? Oh my god. Boogie2988's next punishment is that he has to clean Asmongold's house, top to bottom. Holy fuck, would that be good content. I gotta call Keem later, see if he can get Asmongold in this.
To other 16-year-olds.
Today we're flying to Asmongold's house, and Boogie is going to be cleaning the entire thing.
Guys. And so anyway, I had this happen, and, I eventually kind of got to the point where I was more comfortable with that, and I stopped really caring as much about what, like people would think about me, and, in general, just like people's perception of me. And this kind of got worse as time goes on. And I think that I spent like my teenage years primarily trying to disconnect myself and trying to remove myself from the obligation to be a certain kind of person to the public, and just to society in general. I viewed society as, I never...
A society that has abandoned me! This guy's like, he didn't realize the new Joker movie's bad, so he's still watching the old one.
Chose to be here. This was not up for discussion. I just spawned in here, and so it's like I have to follow these rules, I have to do all these things, I have to be this kind of a person. And then, when I was like age 17, 18, 19, I asked myself, well, why am I doing this? And so I stopped doing all of that stuff, and I've done many degenerate things, none of which I regret. Nothing at all in my life that I've ever regretted at all. But I would do things that a lot of people would consider to be very improper, let's just say that. And so I never really viewed myself, I never really viewed it as like a good or a bad thing. I just, simply existed, and I did what I would do. And
so why do you weigh in on complex discussions? They're like, and Asmongold is not always a bad source of information. Like, I think that, just spitballing here, 64% of the things Asmongold say sound like a human wrote them and are reasonable positions. But then there's the tweets that aren't. Maybe it's closer to 1 in 5, where you just hear like a clip on LSF that's backed up with like proper context, or like a weird tweet or something, where it just sounds like a fucking Martian is talking and explaining real world problems that millionaires who don't live in shitholes don't. Non-millionaires that don't live in shitholes don't experience.
Was it. And at that point, I pretty much had completely disconnected myself from the perception of other.
Dude, this isn't the Joker. This is the Jonkler.
People. And this was at the same time, like growing up, my mom was, I think there was maybe 2 years or so where she made above the poverty level in terms of income. And so we basically barely skated by most of the time. And primarily the reason for that, honestly, is because my dad...
Why so serious?
Had always paid child support, etc., at least until I was 18. And, all that time, she was able to skate by with that and pretty much survive. After high school was over, then obviously like that stopped, and then she wasn't able to support herself, so I was having to figure out ways to make money and try to like piece together money. She would borrow money sometimes from my dad, and it was in general like a very, very negative situation, and so we never really had any money. This was the time where I was pretty much ironically at the peak of my degeneracy. I was probably one of the highest rated warriors in WoW at the time. It was great, but not necessarily in real life. And so at this point I'd pretty much completely...
Wait, are you telling me that like fame in World of Warcraft doesn't translate? Like you weren't pulling bitches by showing them your Fuck, I don't even know what World of Warcraft currency is. Your World of Warcraft V-Bucks equivalent.
Disconnected myself from the way that people saw me, and I stopped caring about the way that people saw me because I pretty much gave up.
Your mana, is that what it is? Is it mana, chat? Is that what we're talking about?
Up on being like a normal person. I gave up on.
Oh, is it gold? It's gold.
Accepted by the public. I gave up on living.
Yeah, he's level 69 warlock. Wasn't making bitches do the 69, bro.
Normal life, or having a family or anything like that. I just felt like
it's called aura. He's got junkyard aura.
Just was not capable of that based off of my experiences that I had, and I had many other ones too.
Dude, there's two paths you go. You either play World of Warcraft and become Asmongold, or you play fucking League of Legends and become video game donkey.
Like, I stabbed somebody and a few other things too. I probably wouldn't even say.
You what? You what?
Other ones too. Like, I stabbed somebody and a few other things.
Dude, holy shit! I stabbed somebody.
Too. I probably wouldn't even say, because they would too drastically alter people's perception of me. But either way, a lot of these instances where I kind of was like, okay, this is bad. Maybe it's better that I'm quarantined in my house. And so anyway, I did this a lot.
Like, this guy literally thinks he's gonna fucking start killing people in the streets if they let him out. If I clean my house, I can't have a maid come here because my inner beast might come out and I might kill her.
And my mom and I, it was really just kind of the two of us. My dad was there. He was supportive, and he always has been supportive. But other than that, I do have family, but none of them live in the state of Texas. And so any trouble, any problems, anything like that, it was pretty much entirely on me to resolve this issue. And so take care of my mom, pay for things, anything like that, it was always on me. And her health...
Why so serious?
Deteriorating at about the same time. This is big surprise. You smoke since you're 16. You spend your entire time smoking cigarettes, watching Ancient Aliens, and fucking around on the internet playing WoW, and you're overweight massively like she was. This isn't good for your health, especially when you're getting into your 60s, which she was at that time, because she had me when she was like 39 and a half or 40 or something. And so at this point, her health was deteriorating, and I remember she had a number of instances where I would wake up and I hear her screaming because she would I don't even really know what the fuck was wrong with her. I don't know. It was like a weird thing where she couldn't see out of her eye, and then she had some kind of I think a bleed in her eye, and then
it's like her retina detached. What the fuck?
She had I think it wasn't really a heart attack. It was some sort of variation of that. And I remember her begging me not to call the ambulance. And this is just and this is at the same time that the house is fucking, we can barely pay for the house. We're worried about getting evicted from the house. We have no AC, or no, we did have AC. We didn't have heat. And so I would go to sleep and the house would be so cold because I would just give her the heater. And I always viewed it as oh, I'm sleeping out on Mount Everest, right? It's I'm cosplaying as Bear Grylls. And I remember my glass of water in my room.
Why does it sound like the mic, the audio is being picked up by your mic rather than through the stream? Then it's this shit audio, because I got two separate tracks here definitely picking up audio.
There would have ice crystals on the edge of it, right? Because of how fucking cold it was. And so I did that really for 2 years, and so we had basically zero money. And so this happened, and pretty much her health would deteriorate more and more and more to the point where she couldn't drive, she couldn't do X, she couldn't do Y, she couldn't get a job anymore. And then it relied on me more and more to completely support her in pretty much all ways. And so, and I remember she would beg, she was on the ground crying, begging me not to call an ambulance. And so this was very upsetting for me, by the way. I got to the point where at this time period, I would wake up every 2 hours or so with a weird thing where I would hear her screaming my name. And this went on for maybe 6 months to a year. And
I'm picturing, dude, I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to make jokes and stuff like this, obviously, because I sound just as psychopathic as he's describing. But when he's I would wake up in the middle of the night and hear her fucking screaming my name. Did you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of that clip from Smiling Friends.
You at the top of your...
I'm so glad you boys came. He's just right in here. I hope he's not sleeping.
That was the first thing that came to my mind. The second he said that.
And also a weird thing where I would hear her screaming my name. And this went on for...
Dude, he's literally the guy. Hello. Wait, he's literally Desmond from Smiling Friends, dude. It's I don't know if I'm gonna smile. And it's look at this ant. Well, it's kind of cool. I'm not sure if it's gonna make me smile, though. Oh my god, wait. Isn't the end of that Desmond just becomes a psychopathic animal killer? That's what you need to break out of the mold!
6 months to a year. And
wait, and he hates animals! Dude, he's fucking Desmond, bro. He's fucking Desmond from Smiling Friends, bro.
Also, I want to say that, like, all of this stuff and everything about it, I don't really, like, everybody in life has problems, and I hope that by sharing my problems, people can kind of see where I'm coming from as a person. I don't really...
Dude, he needs to become a pet exterminator. That's gotta be his job. Not a pest exterminator, a pet exterminator. He needs to, like, be the guy who puts down your dog if it bites somebody.
Care about sympathy. I don't care about people feeling bad for me. I don't really give a fuck. It doesn't matter to me. So I hope that nobody thinks that this is coming off as any form of a, you know, like sympathy
You know what would be another good thing? He'd be a great mortician.
play. You know, I've had things bad happen in my life. I think that...
Like, you kind of have to be this crazy to fucking, like, to just start taking apart dead bodies and stuff and doing autopsies. Like, you gotta, this is the archetype that you need to fit.
In many cases, they've been my fault. I've deserved them. But this is just what's happened. And so, anyway, and every action and every outcome in my life leading up to now has led me to the position that I am right now. And I think that in a lot of cases, I'm happy with how I am. And you can't just go back and edit out all the bad parts and expect to be in the good part. And so, at the same time this was happening, like, a lot of my friends were obviously going through college, finishing college, you know, having girlfriends, like, moving in and everything. And I was worried about,
By the way, I'm putting a $50 bounty. I know he's not in the call, but a $50 bounty will ban Aiden until the next stream.
you know, number one, my mom dying. Number two, my, you know, being homeless. And number three, at that point, I had always assumed that I would kill myself after high school. Like, that was my plan.
Jesus Christ.
And, you know, Wrath of the Lich King came out, and I just got distracted. I forgot.
This guy was going to kill himself until World of Warcraft released their next expansion pack. He forgot that he wanted to die because he was in the game so long.
And so I ended up not doing that. And
Dude, that's like me when the new Fortnite skin drops. It's like, I don't know, I think today's finally the day. And then Peter Griffin hits the item shop, and I'm like, all right, you won this round.
And because of that, I never brushed my teeth in high school. Never really gave a fuck about it. Never cared. And this caused, guess what that causes? It causes your teeth to rot out. And so a lot of my teeth had to be, you know, I had to get fillings and everything as a teenager. And my dad paid for a lot of it, which he was very, very unhappy about. And so these fillings would come out. This is what happens with fillings or anything like that. And
Thank you, Mr. Fluffyton. We'll be banning Aiden from chat. He will be returning next stream. The animal will return. Oh, I banned him permanently. Hold on, I have to unban him really quick. Put user in timeout. 24 hours. See ya, Aiden.
they did come out, and then, of course, my teeth deteriorated naturally, because I love soda. I love drinking soda. I've got a soda right over there. Went to McDonald's earlier today. Really, really like soda. Like it so much that right now, I only have 5 real teeth left in my whole mouth. And,
holy shit. 5 real teeth. Does he have, like, he has, veneers, right?
32, which is kind of crazy to think. And so, anyway, this happened, and all my teeth were starting to rot out. I was not able to eat with one side of my mouth. I would have these toothaches that would get so bad that I would pass out from the pain, and I eventually had to go to, like, the, like, basically, if you're, like, the people that really get fucked by medical bills are the people that are in the middle of, like, you know, economically, because if you're broke, like, they'll do shit for you for, like, $10. If they can get anything, they'll do it. And so I had a program like that, and so they would have to pull out my teeth kind of regularly, and that's how I lost. I have no back teeth at all. That's why, if you look at my jawline, it's very different than if you look at it from, like, you know, high school or, like...
Wait, he hasn't replaced them? He just has... They didn't fill it in?
At the age of, like, 19 or 20. It's completely changed because I've lost all of my teeth and my jaw bone is, like, pretty much rotted out. And so,
okay, never mind. That doesn't repair the... I got it.
Which, as far as I know, is unfixable, at least in the way that I have this problem. There's a separate problem that is fixable. I don't have that one. I talked to a dentist about it. So it's basically, like, irreversibly fucked. And so, anyway, this happened, and it was not a great time. My teeth were rotting out, etc. And at that point, I had to completely, like, pretty much give up the notion and give up the dream of ever being a normal person at that point.
Wait, why? Wait, why did you have to give up the... Dude, my teeth are rotting out. I cannot clean my room. I must live in shit.
I could feel myself no longer being the same as anybody else, right?
This is like the average YouTuber, too. It's actually fucking... It really blows... Like, it's so sad. Because people will, like, idolize these people. And they'll be like, yeah, my teeth fell out, so I decided that I have to live in my own filth for the next 20 years. Even though I became a multimillionaire. Even though I'm, like, a successful businessman. Even though I'm, like, one of the biggest live streamers. I just needed to live in a pile of shit.
And, I actually, for a while, I really hated it, but then I got used to it, and then I embraced it, and I think that's where I am now. So I would say, like, that.
Like, all these influencers can't even influence themselves to do the bare minimum.
was from like ages, like I would say, 13 to, I don't know, like 21, somewhere around there, right? Then after that,
I think it's poor. It's compounding issues. I'm poor, teeth are rotting out. Yeah, but that's not true because his dad was paying for it, at least for the beginning. Like, if your dad is paying for it and he's like yelling at you, saying like, "Hey, asshole, you need to take good care of your teeth. I'm not going to pay for these forever," and then you don't pay, and like you don't actually take care of your teeth at that point. Like, I mean, that's crazy. Like, you're literally spending somebody else's money to keep your mouth fixed.
I started doing other stuff. I was playing WoW. I was making videos. I was doing.
But again, kids are stupid, so I guess you can give them that.
Random things, right? And my
It's not like I listened to everything my parents said either.
mom's like health, pretty much.
But I didn't lose fucking half my mouth's worth of teeth. All right. At some point, you got to sit there. Like, if I had a cavity and they're like, hey, jackass, you got to be brushing better. Like, okay, I ring myself in. This guy's regularly scheduling dentist appointments where they're fucking like taking his teeth out of his rotting jaw. All right, something has got to give.
Would always get worse, and that's just that's just the way it is when you get older, right? And so I would have to do my best to like take care of her, and worked at the IRS for a while. Tried to work at Sam's
He worked at the IRS, bro. This guy was hunting us down before he was big.
Club. Didn't really go very well, but overall, I tried to go.
Dude, where's the best place a sociopath should work? Oh yeah, the IRS. This guy's a fucking fed.
Back to college. I do have a college degree, if you can imagine that, but learned more from business from WoW than I did from.
Yeah, I was thinking mortician, but I guess federal fucking IRS fucking employee works just as well.
Business school, and so then I spent that time. And then this was all the time, like, me not knowing if she would, every day I would wake up and, like, hear that voice in my mind. And, like, it was really, really bad. And this is just something I would do all the time. And I try to always make the best out of things. I try to just, not think about it. But, looking back on it, things were very, very bad. And so anyway, fast forward a little bit later. And that's whenever I was, like, going back to college. I thought that I would just, basically have a shitty job, play video games for my whole life, and then die, right? And then.
Well, at least he's not suicidal anymore. He's got a plan.
And I realized his shitty job is actually a lot more shitty than I thought it would be. So then I remember it was probably like one of the best things that ever happened to me is that I took this job at Sam's Club, and I hated it so much it actually encouraged me to make myself a better person, if you can imagine that. And so I signed up to go back to.
Did you see Styx, Hex, and Hammer got arrested for domestic abuse, got bailed out by the Quartering, and exposed by Kino Casino for groping a woman on stream? I don't even know if the stuff you just wrote me is real. No, I literally did not hear that. That's fucking crazy.
University and finish another degree that I was working on so I could go to law school. Actually, I wanted to be a lawyer, basically because
Dude, new sentence just dropped. Like, that's no way.
I had a friend in high school. We would always play Magic the Gathering, and I could see him. He would always manipulate the rules to come out ahead and win different, like, arguments in Magic the Gathering. And I was like,
His teeth were rotting, his jaw was falling apart, but what turned around his life? Sam's Club. Turns out working retail is literally worse than jaw pain so bad that you're passing out. Holy shit.
I bet lawyers do that in real life. I should do that myself. And so that was always my motivation. And anyway, I did that. And then, a number of other things, random things that are not, I would say like YouTube or public safe that I did. And then after that, I started doing YouTube. And then I started doing YouTube, and I focused on that. And I would put videos out of the way that I lived, etc. And people would always find it to be very funny or like weird.
How does this guy have no police record or something that people have pulled up? This motherfucker stabbed a man. Jesus Christ.
He would like really like there were a lot of people, and this is true even now, people that like hate me for living the way that I do. And I think that really people look at a person like me and they see a person who has a number of things in their life that they wish they had, but I've done basically, if you look at it from
that's Dark Viper, dude. That's Dark Viper. He's not mad at Asmongold for reacting. He wants to live in his house.
They tell you to do when you're growing up.
He wants to be able to be unchained and to live like a degenerate freak.
I used every single thing to do.
But he unfortunately cares what people have to say. So if Dark Viper can't rid himself of his earthly possessions,
it was a checklist of what not to do, right? And so, I think that a lot of people could be a little bit, annoyed by that. And so I can see why, and et cetera. And it is disgusting, by the way. And so, missing half your teeth and, living in a dump with a dead rat alarm clock. You don't know if your mom's going to be alive that day. You've got no money. You have to support her. She's never going to be able to support herself. And things are just basically slowly getting worse and worse and worse. And I started doing YouTube, and things started doing a little bit better. I started doing streaming. Things were doing better then. I went to get my teeth fixed, because if you look at my old videos, a lot of my old videos, you'd notice that I smile. You know, when I smile, I cover my mouth when I smile. The reason for that is this isn't Saikuno, where I don't like my smile. Yeah, well, I don't like my smile. It's not because I think it's ugly. It's because I didn't have any fucking teeth, and I didn't want people to see that. And so that's why I would cover my mouth a lot whenever I first started streaming. And so this happened to me for a long time. I go to the dentist, and they tell me it's going to be like around $50,000 to get all my teeth fixed and everything done.
Wow. That's fucking crazy. That's what it costs? Chat, you better be brushing. $50,000.
Taken care of. Then I thought, maybe, because it was the first time at that point where I kind of like, it really hit me that I had like irreversibly and irreparably damaged my life in a way that I couldn't just immediately like undo. Because like as a kid, you know, usually you make a mistake where it's like you scrape your knee and then...
No,
well,
you make a mistake like you lose one tooth, or you have to get a root canal, and then you wake up and go, I need to fix something in my life. You don't lose your entire mouth of teeth and go, hey man, I think I fucked this one up. I ought to start thinking about a solution.
A bandage on, it gets better. But with this, it never was going to get better, and it's only going to get worse, and it certainly has, by the way. And so, anyway, I did want to kill myself, but I decided instead of killing myself, I'd do something even worse. I'd start streaming. And I started streaming.
Jesus Christ. That's kind of bad.
Because I wasn't really making enough money, and everybody says, oh, well, I started streaming because, you know, I like interacting with people. It's because I was lonely. Well, I started streaming for money. I needed some fucking money. And so that's what I did.
Dude, me in December, bro. Me in literally me in December, bro.
And I was like, guys, we've got a donation goal of $100, and, you know, if we get $100, I'm going to go to Wendy's tomorrow. And I would always meme it up, you know, $1 equals one donut, and it's like, you know, I would make a bunch of money, and it was great. And things actually did go very well. I streamed every single night. I was very dedicated. I tried to make things as entertaining as possible, and, you know, I did what I tried to do best, right? And things kind of got better, and they improved.
I'm rooting for this guy. I literally want Asmongold's life to be good. I don't know why I care. He's like a bajillionaire fucking YouTuber. But, like, I just want this guy to be better. And I hope he's doing well.
This happened just at pretty much the same time. A lot of my friends were kind of evolving.
Why? Because I only found out he stabbed somebody today. Otherwise, he hasn't really done anything that's that bad.
Past, you know.
He's got some. The thing is, Asmongold, I don't like him. I didn't like him in the past because we got into some stupid arguments, and it seemed like he just kind of shilled and wrote dumb cringe shit on Twitter. But like, he never did anything. I don't know, dude. He's the only guy who fucking acts like this who hasn't like touched a kid. All right, so I mean, until that happens, I think I could kind of be in his corner somewhat.
You know, like college, like they were getting careers, getting married, having kids. And like now I'm pretty sure, I'm thinking to myself, I'm pretty sure every single friend that I have is either married or has a kid, which is kind of crazy.
If he touches, I'll disavow, but I don't know. I feel like I can kind of be in his corner.
During that, you know, I'm sitting here doing what I'm doing, but it is kind of weird. I'm 34 now, which is honestly a fucking shock. Like, I can't believe it. I don't feel 34. I feel like...
What if he stabbed a kid? Well, what if he was a kid when he stabbed the kid? You ever think of that?
I'm still 16, but I look in the mirror, I see my hairline, and I think to myself, oh my god, wait a minute, I think I'm actually 34. And if I'm really not sure, I talk to somebody who's 16, and then I realize,
no! No!
I don't feel 34. I feel like I'm still 16. But I look in the mirror, I see my hairline, and I think to myself, oh my god, wait a minute, I think I'm actually 34. And if I'm really not sure, I talk to somebody who's 16, and then I realize, hold up, wait a minute, no, actually I am 34. Because that...
Dude, if anything ever happens, that clip is gonna get minted. That clip is gonna be sold as an NFT.
There's no better way to realize that you're actually older until you talk to somebody who's actually younger.
Oh my god. Dude, is that what Chun thought when he was talking to that ripe 18-year-old?
At least it is for me. So anyway, you know, my stream was doing very well. My social life really, I pretty much like stopped interacting with a lot of friends of mine because I focused pretty much just on streaming and on making this as much as possible. And also, I'm a very introverted person in a lot of ways.
No shit, you're introverted? I couldn't guess.
I like being alone. I don't like people talking to me a whole lot. I don't like phone calls. I don't like interacting with people. I don't like going out. You guys might notice this, right? If it's, you know, a mystery or secret. And so, you know, big surprise, that's how it was. And then, you know, I started streaming. My stream started doing better. And there was a degree of, like, stress that created. But, and in terms of, like, my lifestyle and everything, living that way, I never really thought about it at that point. I never really worried too much about, like, kind of how... people would perceive me. I always viewed myself as like, this is just who I am.
I mean, because you stabbed the, I don't know if you stabbed the kid, but you stabbed somebody, so it's really only up from there, right?
That's what I am. That's all there is to it.
Are we gonna just brush past? He fucking stabbed somebody. We're just brushing right on past that.
I never really took, I still don't really take any criticism or any negativity to heart. I don't take it personally. I don't really care a whole lot. And so at the end of the day, it never really bothered me, and people thought it was funny. And so, I had like these snack box, and there were like maggots in the snack box, and I would eat the food with the maggots inside of the food.
Oh,
it was like honey buns, which were really, really good. And to be honest,
yeah, there's something wrong with this guy, dude. That's fucking vile.
didn't even really taste them. So it was pretty much...
I couldn't even taste the maggots.
The same thing, didn't even bother me. And so, I had like taken at that point, my teeth had like totally rotten out. And so I had taken pliers to like break pieces of my teeth off, even, like if I wasn't able to speak during a stream, because like a point was like, poking my tongue, or like, playing a game or something like that, talking to people. And so I still have the pliers actually in my bathroom from all the way back then. And, so this had happened for quite a while. And, then
if you're in the chat and you're not doing super hot, from me to you, like, take care of yourself, man. Listen, I know you're hearing that from an internet fat guy, but, like, please take care of yourself.
I guess you could say, I started, like, I guess, like, the second phase of my life of, like, trying to remove myself from, like, caring about, being worried about the outcome of other people. It was always very scary for me to know that, like, my mom would die one day, right? This was extremely scary. This was, like, the one thing that I didn't want to have happen. And in 2021, it did happen. And so leading up to that was incredibly stressful. She pretty much did everything that she possibly could. I love her, but she did every fucking thing that she could to make things as absolutely unpleasant as possible. Oh my god. And so, yes. It was very frustrating to deal with somebody like that, but, she was 70 at the time, and so it really, really, really hurt, and it's, like, she was the main person in my life that I was, like, most connected to, and, like, this is the person that I had, like, the deepest emotional connection with, and to just lose them, and it was kind of random, by the way, like, things got worse over time, but it was nothing like at the very end there, it just kind of went off a fucking cliff, and so this happened, and then at about the same time, a little bit after that,
you probably get in the groove of, like, Close Encounters to the point where you're like, oh, shit, I mean, look, it looks kind of bad, but mom's come back from this, like, so many times or whatever, right? And then it's just that one time that you're not expecting it, and it's the last time.
Also broke up with a long-term girlfriend at the time, and then
For the record, all my parents are alive, so I have literally no insight on that at all whatsoever, but, I mean, like, I don't know.
At the same time, my dad got so fucking sick that we were, like, talking about writing his will, like, and he's still setting all that up because he doesn't know if this shit's gonna happen again, right? What's gonna be? And he's 77 too, so it's rough, right? It's bad. And he went through pneumonia 4 fucking times in a year, and so
all 4 of them.
still getting around, going to the store, etc. But I gotta help him every once in a while too, right? And it is what it is. And so again, and we don't have any family around here, and so if something goes wrong, if something's bad, there's one person who's responsible for that, and that's me. And so that's a lot of stress. It's a lot of pressure, right? And I had all 3 of these things happen to me within pretty much 1 year of each other, maybe 2 years with the thing with my dad. And so at that point, I began the second part of, I think that, like, my abstraction of reality is that I've tried my best to remove myself from caring about other people as much as I can, and not caring about them in terms of, like, being friendly. Of course I'm friendly with people, but being emotionally attached to having them in my life, being emotionally attached to the way that they feel about me and how they're doing. It's been very hard for me to actually have any sort of feelings towards people when it seems like everybody that was important to me is fucking dying. And so the
problem that I'm having here with this is, like, this is a really sad story, and I'm trying to make it as light as I can. But, like, dude, a lot of people, like, every guy has to grow up and deal with this kind of thing. Every guy, girl, this is an inevitability for all of us. I don't think that everyone handles it super gracefully, but this is like a justification for some, like, pretty crazy shit, and it seemed like he already wasn't doing too great to begin with.
Leaving me, right? Or breaking up with me. So at a certain point, you just kind of get away from that. And then after that, we entered into, I would say, the third phase, which is the point where I lose the connection with myself. And I think that whenever I finally do that...
Like, the easiest way to find yourself in this guy's position is to just be too afraid to, I guess, live your life. You know, to take those chances, to meet new people, to establish that like core group of friends that are going to be with you for a real long while. If you don't do those things, you can get caught in a situation real like, dude, at like in your 20s, your closest friends should not be your parents. And you need to try to like, I understand that's not easy for everybody. Everybody goes through different shit. People have like ties to depression and stuff, but like you got to do the best you can to start building those relationships, because those people are going to be there long after your parents are gone. Hopefully. Unless they're Bo Blacks, but those are internet friends. Ignore those.
I think that maybe one day I might be happy again. And what I mean by that is that I always worry about like dying and, you know, all this stuff and like how I'm, you know, like where do you go? What happens, right? And it would be very, very stressful for me. And I usually reassure myself by reminding myself that I'm just a hyper intelligent monkey that probably evolved too fast. And I think that we all are, by the way. It's not like I'm special. And that usually is oddly reassuring. But otherwise, it was very stressful for me. And I did think that I was farther along. I thought I would be okay with dying until I thought that I was dying. And then I realized that I wasn't as far along as I thought I was. Recently, whenever I had a blood pressure reading of 194, which is a high score so far, you know, at least so far. And so...
I didn't even know it goes that high. What do you die at? 194? What is considered, like, too close to call?
Things have been improving since then, by the way. But anyway, this has been...
what number makes your heart explode? I haven't seen that episode of House yet.
My life, and I stopped really caring about anything. I stopped caring about what happens to me. I stopped caring about what happens to other people. I stopped caring about what people think about me. And I felt that the more that I have, the more that I've cared about things, the more unhappy I've been as a person. And I think that this is true on like a base level. Is this some sort of pathological problem for me? I think it probably is. But at the end of the day, this is the best way that I know to cope with it, right? And so for me, the way that I live and everything is a manifestation of that. It's always been this way for me. My mom, like growing up, things were pretty messy, etc. But then even now, things are worse than they ever have been in terms of like being messy. But you know, I never really think about it or worry about it because I'm just never really, it doesn't even cross my mind. I'm thinking about things that I want to think about. I'm doing things that I want to do. And I never think about what other people think about me. I don't think about how it affects other people. I don't think about how they feel or anything like that. And it might sound like a bad thing, but it's made me a happier and more fulfilled person, not worrying about anybody else really other than myself unless I have to. And it's been very like weird for me. Getting older especially, and you know, like having like priorities change in your life, and you know, having different things happen to you. And so I wanted to make this video and kind of like explain like kind of how I got to be this way, and hopefully a little bit of this can like explain why do I behave this way, why am I like this, why do I have no shame with things, right? It's because I've lived a life where I've tried desperately to hold on to any degree of dignity that I've had and anything that I've had, and it's just slowly been taken away from me, whether it's myself, pieces of myself, other people, or the way that the world sees me. I think that the more that I've kind of just, you know, let things flow freely and not care about it, the more happy and content that I've been. And so it's an ongoing process. And began whenever I said, you know, I guess I said I was like 13. And, you know, I guess the last thing for me to do is really to let go of myself and, you know, just finally be content with my own existence for the time that I exist. And I'm not really a religious person. I'm not a spiritual person.
I'm guessing at the end of this video, he's not going to announce that he's going to be cleaning his room. I really was rooting for him to turn around and be like, I've decided that it's time for me to put all this behind me.
I don't believe there's any light at the end of the tunnel. I definitely don't.
Okay, that's definitely not where this is going.
I think so. And I just try to make the best of being in.
Listen, I'm not religious, but maybe try finding God. I don't know. Sometimes people need a higher power. All right, they need to think about something that happens after death that keeps them here, keeps them grounded. All right, I'm not a religious person at all whatsoever. I don't even care which one you try, but sometimes you just need that extra, you need ritual in your life, and maybe that'll solve whatever problem's happening here.
The tunnel. And so that's why I live the way that I do. That's why I do the things that I do. That's why
he should find his floor before he finds God.
I say the things that I do. That's why a lot of criticism and things like this, of course I don't like it. Of course I don't like it. But it doesn't really emotionally affect me in the same way that I think it does for other people. And it used to affect me a lot more, but I've, you know...
Nick's like, I'm not religious, but only God can save him. Look, we've exhausted everything else. I don't know what else I'm supposed... Dude, It's like when they bring in a shaman. It's like, I don't know why this kid is dying, but we're gonna bring a shaman into the ER.
You know, gotten a little bit better at least at dealing with it. And so hopefully this can answer some questions and kind of give people a little bit more insight into my life and the kind of person I am. And that's pretty much about it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I have to cover. 30-minute video. Actually, I was expecting it to be longer. So,
wait, he's actually not ending this video by announcing he's gonna clean his house.
you know, that's my life story. That's what's happened to me in general. And
this is actually just a video of him explaining it. It's really exactly what the title was. He's not like, hey guys, I fucked this whole thing up royally.
that's why I am the way I am. And will I ever change? Maybe, maybe not, right?
So in fucking long story short, the dead rat will be staying in my house. Stop asking about it.
I mean, I honestly, like, you know, making a lot of money on Twitch and, you know, like the notoriety and everything, like people recognize you. I mean, I mean, I guess it's nice, right? And I mean, sometimes having money is way better than not having money. But in terms of, like, you know, having a lot of wealth,
Don't you want kids? Don't you want to, like, don't you ever want to just settle down and, like, have a catch with your son? I don't know. Like, you gotta figure out, like, what do you want to do? Why are you still here? He hasn't given us a solid reason on why he's still alive either. And that's kind of interesting.
live in my same house. I use my same desk. I, you know, for a very long time drove my same car. I eat in the same places. I do the same things. I really haven't changed at all, honestly, ever since I
This guy was living in COVID even before 2015.
was, like, younger, ever since my streams got popular. And maybe one day I will, maybe one day I won't. At the end of the day, I think that one thing that I've always really kind of focused on and thought about a lot is that I have complete and absolute agency over my own life. I can do anything that I want to do, and I cannot do anything that I...
God, you are lucky. Like, it's like, you wonder where the directions of these people's lives, the trajectory it could have taken. This guy is literally only alive because his Twitch hit it big. Like, Twitch literally saved this guy's life.
don't want to do. And I think that's been a very comforting fact. And so people ask me, like, are you ever going to do this? It's not something I'm really thinking about changing right now, but in the future I might change my mind. I just don't know yet. And so I just try to live life and enjoy it and, you know, be able to...
But you can enjoy life and still have a maid. You know? Like, you could just pay a maid. Like, you have all the money in the world. I don't understand. Like, it's like, I'm too depressed to clean. Sure. Okay, but you're not a millionaire. It's a small price to pay. You got somebody come in once per week and clean the fucking grime off your floor. This guy's gonna have black mold and fucking die that way.
experience things for the way that
He's garbage goober, like, trash!
they're meant to be experienced. And really, I don't care a whole lot about that either. I don't care about, you know, going out or having certain life experiences or, oh, you'll regret this. Well, who cares if you regret this when you're old? You're about to die anyway. It doesn't even matter. And so I've never really felt that way. It's just not, it's not in
He's immune by now? Yeah, they literally should test this guy's blood if there's another pandemic. He might have the cure.
me. And so that's really my whole life. And that's why I live the way that I live. It's why I do things the way that I do things. And, you know, maybe one day it'll change. Maybe one day it won't. Who the fuck knows? Tune in next time to find out. So anyway,
This guy's
guys,
a walking vaccine for anything. African water sickness? Who cares? I got Asmongold.
hopefully this is a little bit more informative, etc. And shit,
This guy just gave us a documentary on why he sleeps in shit, and he's like, okay, I hope it was informative. Anywho, thank you. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more.
got an early end for the day. We had to record something early, so I came home. I figured I'd record this, and it's only 6 p.m., and so I don't know what the hell to do with myself now. I'm not streaming. I'm going to go walk around my house like an NPC. And so, like, I don't know what to do. I'm probably going to go play video games. So,
This is like the one video, like, I don't know, I don't really ever pre-watch shit, but like, this is the one video I should have pre-watched. I literally had no idea what I was expecting here, and it was exactly the opposite of, like, I think what most people would assume this video would be. I am completely fucking floored. I was not expecting it to take this trajectory.
anyway, guys, thank you all very much for watching. Thanks for listening if you've gotten this far. And yeah, things have been going great for me recently. And I want to say thank you to everybody who's been so supportive and everything. And, you know, my best way that I can say thank you is by doing more of it. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. And that's about it. Peace.
God, something about this guy, I just want him to get his life together. I just want him to, like, succeed. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm invested in this schizo millionaire. Probably because he stabbed somebody. I think that's pretty cool. Jesus Christ. What are the comments like this? I always assumed I would kill myself. Then World of Warcraft LK came out, and I just sort of forgot. Hearing Asmongold almost killed himself, but didn't because of a World of Warcraft expansion, is the saddest yet funniest explanation for why he didn't go through with it. I'm 34 and I feel like 16. I'm 16. That's so true. I keep wondering, where did the last 15 years go? Being in our 30s is so weird. You feel like you've done a lot and nothing at all at once. Hey man, I'm 52. I feel like I'm in my 20s. I get it. Thanks for sharing. I've been watching your videos for the past few years. I don't always agree with 100% of the things. I fully respect what you're saying. I used to make fun of his baldness. Now I'm going bald. Jesus Christ. I thank God every day that I still have my full head of hair. Because I see so many of my friends shaving it off. Jesus Christ. I got a suicide hotline announcement under this video. I honestly expected from the title it would be 2 steps ahead. Oh my God, could you imagine if it's like all of my streams for the past 2 years were pre-recorded? He just comes out in a fucking suit. Slick back hair. Jesus. Big props for this, Asmon. I do want to say that as an autistic person myself, to me, this is absolutely and convincingly sounds like autism as well. Oh, just stop. Please just stop. Stop. Autistic people, stop diagnosing people on fucking YouTube and Twitter. Stop it. Put down the WebMD, okay? We need to shut down autism until we can figure out what the fuck is happening right now. Holy fuck. Put down the computer before you hurt somebody. Holy shit, dude. This is giving me old YouTube random video algorithm recommendation from 10 years ago vibes. Damn, Asmongold. I don't know why you were compelled to upload this, but I really appreciate the vulnerability here. I don't think I've ever heard someone be this relatable. And this should not be relatable, but open, sure. Okay. A while ago, I was in a psych ward, and they asked me my reason to live is, and I answered, Hogwarts Legacy is coming out in a few months. They were disappointed with my answer, but honestly, if you love games as much, dude, imagine fucking waiting for Hogwarts Legacy, and then realizing it's like, okay, but still kind of mid. Now, if you said you were waiting for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, dude, I'd be all in. That shit's gonna be fucking boss. That's gonna be sick. I actually, unironically, just pre-ordered the Ultimate Edition today because I want to play 3 days early because I want to relive my childhood, okay? And I want to play through Super for the first time because fucking no game has the full playthrough of Super yet in the base game. It's been like fucking 6 years and they were still dropping games where the main story is the original Dragon Ball Z. It's like insane. Yeah, how many fucking video games have you bought, chat? That are just replaying the Dragon Ball Z story with like a few what if things. I'm excited for new content, okay? Apparently it's like outselling pre-orders of Black Ops 6. So yeah. I just want to say I'm probably not the only one here watching this that can heavily relate to this video, especially talking about not being able to relate or talk to other people. I would love to see Asmon's take on Tecton's offer to do a social cleanup of Asmon's house. A total cleanup of Asmon's house. No! Let Boogie do it. It'll be funnier. It'll be funnier. I don't know any other YouTuber that can make this video without any cuts or teleprompter. One day Asmon will take down the background green screen and show us this organized, clean house where things are more accessible than imaginary top 10 item buffer list memory.